Hey everyone, what's up? Thought I'd just come on here and pardon me while I also look at this because I'm checking something. Just making sure of a little something here. As you can see, just trying to make sure of something. Anyway, thought I'd come. And my twilight falls down. I guess Bob Show isn't the only one to deal with that kind of stuff. Anyway, thought I'd come on here and give you my thoughts on a few things that have happened over the past couple of days. You know, certain of things that have come out, trailers, events, and first of all, let's start with the trailers. First of all, let's talk about the Death of Superman trailer, which is the next animated DC Universe movie. It is basically this interpretation is is a hybrid, if you will. It's a amalgamation, if you will. It's kind of a hybrid amalgamation of the original Death of Superman story, but set not only in the New 52 continuity and universe and timeline, but set in modern times. In other words, it's more of it's basically a more faithful adaptation, but set in a more modern setting and within the New 52 continuity. And I know some people are thinking, well, didn't they do this already? And yeah, they did. They did do this already. They did it with Superman Doomsday, but that was the first one, the first out of basically this franchise, the first animated universe movie out of this franchise. And at first it was great to see a full-length adaptation at that time of the storyline, but what we got was more of a compressed one movie shot or adaptation of the story, but it was more of a loose adaptation. It's like they took certain elements that made the story good, threw them out, and then whatever story elements they kept in, they compressed together into making the movie that we got. And even though it wasn't a true adaptation, it was a very loose adaptation, it sold well. It actually broke a lot of records. It sold very well because it was a full-length adaptation of what we'd been wanting, and now we were getting it. So yeah, it was actually, how do I put this? It was actually good. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times, or several times already, and I thought it was good. I thought it was good adaptation for its time, loose adaptation when you look at it now, but I thought it was all right. Even though I and a lot of other people knew, even though I and a lot of other people knew that there was more to the story than what we were given. And now, about 11 years later, we're getting sort of a more truer, more faithful adaptation, a more faithful adaptation a more faithful adaptation than what we had before. So, and again, even though, like I said, it's, and you've probably heard about this, it's set more in modern times and within this new continuity of the New 52, which began its animated adaptation at the end of at the end of the Flashpoint movie and at the beginning of Justice League War. To me, I think what we're going to get here, and then what we're going to get with the follow-up, is setup, if you will, in my opinion, setup for possibly another reboot, retcon story that will be adapted into animated form, and that these first two movies here, this two-part story, is the first step in that direction. I know some people are going to be critical about the fact that it's based around the New 52 continuity and it's based in modern times. Here's the thing. Not a lot of people that are fans of the New 52, that were fans of the New 52, the more modern take on DC, were born at the time that the death of Superman happened. And this pretty much is more of Warner Brothers' way of saying, of showing this new generation of fans that have read the story, heard about when it came out, basically giving them the story in a more modern setting. Like, here's the story, but put in a more modern timeline and a more recent continuity that fans are used to. So that's why we're getting into where we are. And even though, just like with Doomsday, there's going to be some slight changes here and there, I think we're going to get a more faithful adaptation than what we had with Doomsday. And what the trailer has shown me, and I'm sure has shown a lot of people, that is definitely going to be the case. Again, the way it's different in some ways is it's set in the New 52 universe that was set up from an animated perspective at Justice League War. So it's all taking place within this same New 52 continuity to kind of make it feel more like it just happened, like it's a story that just took place in the New 52, or that could have took place in the New 52, but has yet to. And this is more of that animated adaptation of it, like more of a what if kind of deal. So, but I look at it this way. When I look at the trailer, if you take out the New 52 situation or perspective, and you take out the modern set and modern time perspective, I think we're going to get, like I said, I think we're going to get very faithful. I think we're going to get a nearly faithful adaptation of the death of Superman. I really do. And I think in addition to that, not only are we going to get a nearly faithful adaptation, but I think this is going to, when it's released, that it's going to break a lot of sales records, a lot of Blu-ray, DVD, digital sales records, as far as the DC Animated Universe movie lineup goes. It's going to break all the records that any of those set. It's going to break records sale-wise, because the more we get closer to the film, and the more people find out that it is a more faithful adaptation, even though it's set in New 52 timeline and modern timelines, I think people are going to really enjoy it. I think, like I said, the closer we get to it, the more, like I say, people hear that it is a more faithful adaptation, even though the settings are different. I think people are going to want to see it. They're going to definitely want to see it, because this is a very iconic story, no matter how it's told. No matter how different it's told or what setting it's told in, this is a very iconic story. So I can't wait to see what we get out of it. The trailer has kind of got me hyped for it. Like I said, the trailer has kind of got me hyped for it, and I can't wait to get it. I think it's supposed to come out in the next couple months, so I will be buying it on Blu-ray, and I can't wait to see what we get. I'm kind of surprised to go with a PG-13 rating again. I think it would have been better if they would have done the R rating, because then you could have gone a little bit away with a little bit more. But if they are going to go the R rating route, I think they're going to wait and save that for the follow-up film, The Reign of the Superman. So I think that's I think that if we are going to get an R rating with this, it's going to be saved for the Reign of the Superman film, which is going to be the second part, the follow up to this. And and you know, I think that's when it might get a little darker, a little bit more. What I'm trying to say, and I'm looking at two things here, so I do apologize. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get interrupted, if you catch my drift. Um, but anyway, um, the trailers got me hyped. The trailers got me excited to see what this more faithful adaptation is going to be like. And you definitely know that this movie is not going to end on a happy note. It's going to be more somber. It's going to be it's going to be a bittersweet ending, but it's going to be a very somber, bittersweet ending, if you know what I mean. So, and that's what's going to help lead us into the next one. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Hold on, I'm just checking something here. Just checking something here, sorry. And like I said, it's going to be, like I said, the trailers got me hyped to see what this one will be like. And if it is, like they said, if it is going to be very faithful, more faithful to the story, to the original story than Doomsday was, with a few slight changes here and there, especially in setting and stuff. I think DC's gonna, like I said, I think DC's gonna have a hit on their hands, and I think when the sales are gonna, honestly, I think sale records are gonna be broken as far as the DC animated universe goes, animated universe movies goes. I think sales are going to be broken. I really do. So, like I said, trailers got me hyped and got me excited. So I can't wait to see this. And again, I think the closer we get to it, the more people are going to want to see it, because even though they might not like the difference in setting and maybe a few slight changes here and there, they're going to want to see it because of how iconic the story is, and they're going to want to see how faithful even a more modern even a more modern adaptation of this iconic story is going to be like. So can't wait for it, and I highly recommend you guys check out the trailer if you can. IGN is actually the ones that put it up, and I know that not just the people at IGN are excited that helped put this trailer up are excited, but I can definitely tell you Angry Joe. But I can definitely bet that Angry Joe Vargas is gonna want to see this. Is gonna be excited. He may even do a review on it. I know Linkara might want to see it, and I know Comic Book Cast and others that do reviews like Rob the Wonderful, Box Show. All of them, I think they're all gonna like to see what this is about. So can't wait. And those are just my thoughts on that. And speaking of trailers, there was another one that dropped this week. It's one of the more anticipated trailers for any show on television, and that is Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground Season 4's trailer finally dropped, and from what I could tell, it's definitely going to be darker. It's going to be more violent. It's going to be more bloody in some cases. It's just going to be like, man, it's like if you didn't think it's like if you didn't think season 3 could top itself. If you didn't think season 3 could top itself, like I said, if you didn't think season 3 could top itself, it looks like season 4 is gonna top season 3. It really is. I really think so. I think season 3 is gonna get topped by season 4, because like I said, it looks darker. It Looks like it's gonna be bloodier, more violent. I mean, and the fact that you got a lineup that includes Tommy Dreamer in there, Jeremiah Crane, Sammy Callahan, and people that are used to doing these hardcore deathmatch style, like deathmatch style matches and stuff in Lucha Underground, and now you're also incorporating, like I said, someone like a Dreamer and a few others. It's going to be crazy to see what they go with. It's going to be crazy. In fact, from what I understand, one of the first matches they had at the tapings was bloody and violent. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But from what I can take from it, from what I take from it, and I think even Deluxeman said this when he looked at it, not only is it going to be darker and more violent, more bloody, it's going to be more supernatural, more sci-fi, fantasy-wise as well, mixed in with the crime drama element. It's like, okay, it's like those non-wrestling moments and segments that we get throughout Lucha Underground are going to still rely on the crime drama deal. It's still going to rely on the crime drama. But what we're also going to get is more sci-fi and supernatural. Supernatural wise, it's going to, it looks like we got some kind of doll that's possessed, and it's taking control of the worldwide underground of Mundo, Tyra, and Evans, it looks like, or Ray Fernandez, or whatever his name is. So it looks like it's taking control of them. It's like it's taking control, possessing them, like it's possessing Ray. He's holding it, and then you see him later on, kind of bloodied a little bit, like something's going on. Then later on you see Tyra. She's holding it, but she's shaking. It's like it's trying to possess. It's either trying to possess her or kill her, or strangle her or something. And then you see in the roster montage at the end, you see Mundo holding it. So you're wondering what's going on. And what's funny is they have this scene in the trailer where Mundo and Tyra are on some kind of Indiana Jones like quest, and they're putting a rope down to pull something up, and you gotta wonder if maybe that's Fernandez, Evans, whatever his name is. Sorry, I hit something there. I was gonna say, woo. But like I said, you gotta wonder if what Mundo and Tyra are pulling up with that rope in that one scene in the trailer, that Indiana Jones like quest scene, is they're pulling up Fernandez, Evans, whatever his name is. They're pulling him up along with the doll. So you gotta wonder if the doll is what they're going after, but why? Well, obviously we see in the trailer that it has some kind of possessive powers, and something tells me that in addition with Mundo getting the gauntlet, because the gauntlet of the gods is going to play a factor this year as well, with him getting like the gauntlet of the gods and looking like he's getting possessed by it, which I'm guessing the gauntlet of the gods is Lucha Underground's answer to the Infinity Gauntlet. Who knows? Because there's mention by because right at the beginning, well, not at the beginning, but about 10-15 seconds in, a minute in, you get this, at the minute into the trailer, you get this, 30 seconds into the trailer, you get this meeting between Star, Cueto, and Ateka Dragon, I think that's his name. And Cueto says the gauntlet has to go back in time. So you're wondering, and you hear Ateka Dragon, I think, saying it's too powerful now, and then you hear Earlstar say make it grim. And so you wonder, what's that mean? So obviously we're going to get time travel. So time travel, of course, when it comes to gauntlets in any kind of environment, any kind of media, fantasy or not, sometimes that involves. What I'm saying is the only other gauntlet that we know that involves time travel is, of course, the Infinity Gauntlet. We know that. So, it looks like the Gauntlet's going to have some kind of time traveling powers. We don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. But like I say, Mundo gets access to it. He gets possessed, look like, by it. But you got a lot. It's just a lot of stuff's going to be happening here. You got Katrina getting to the black stones that she needs to be mortal again, be flesh and blood again. But it looks like when she's getting them, she's falling off a cliff. Looks like she's going to die anyway. We don't know if that's in the past or that's in the present. We don't know. It looks like Katrina and this CIA lady that we saw in season 3 and 2. It looks like we see them fighting in a jail cell. You got Cobra Moon. She's slithering, sneaking around. And I'm wondering if with her doing the slithering that they showed her doing on the ground, I'm wondering if that's gonna deal with transformation too. I mean, as crazy and whacked out as this show is, you gotta wonder if maybe they're gonna give Cobra Moon the ability to transform into a snake and just slither around noticeably into areas that she, like cracks in areas normally she couldn't get into, and then reform. I don't know. Apparently Jack Swagger's character, who's going to go by the name of Jack Hager and Jack Strong, is going to have a big role throughout. And it looks like I don't know if he's going to be like some kind of hitman kind of deal. We don't know. We don't know what Tommy Dreamer's contribution is going to be, if he's going to be portrayed as an ambassador for Lucha Underground to places like House of Hardcore, Impact Wrestling. We don't know what his role is going to be, but apparently if you're going to have him added to the equation with violence, with this show being known for its violence, it's going to be interesting. We do get some new characters and some new people, like Sunny Kiss is in there as Exotic Licious, I think. And you got a few others as well. You got this Killer Croc or Killer Car guy, I don't know, who obviously gives the White Rabbit tribe, Paul London and his crew, this staff that makes them into the Dark Rabbit tribe, because they're going into Wonderland. That's something that's being incorporated. So that happens. You got this little luchador minion in a cage next to this killer guy who sits like on a throne. Who's looking like he's sitting on a throne. So you wonder if maybe that's Hornswoggle under that mask, but we don't know. I can tell you this: it's Lucha Underground season 4 has really got my interest peaked. It really does, because I'm looking at something that I truly believe is because we don't know. The one thing about Lucha Underground is we don't know what's going to happen with it in the future after every season. So to me, I think Lucha Underground, if this is the last season, if season 4 is it, and I'm sure not a lot of people are going to want it to be, but if it is, then it's obviously setting up to go off with a bang. It really is. And as far as that old guy that we see in the trailer before we see the roster reveal, that old guy that we see, because we see his picture of Dorian Cueto. It looks like it's a picture of him. Maybe it sounds. I mean, if you look at it, it is a picture of Dorian Cueto, but it almost looks like it sounds like a severed head, like his head got cut off and now it's just planted there. But I think this old man, I think that is Dorian Cueto. I really do. I think what we see there is a picture of what Dorian Cueto used to look like, and now we're looking at what he is now. Because you got to remember this. We don't know if he died. And usually in these kind of stories, when somebody gets shot or stabbed, but you don't know what the fate is, they always end up coming back, but with a new look to them. So to me, I think the old guy is Dorian Cueto in disguise with a new look, with his hair grown out, beard and everything, glasses. I think it is Dorian Cueto. And I think it's going to be, and I think honestly, that revelation is going to come true just a few episodes in. I really do. I really do. I could be wrong, but I really do think that revelation is going to come true. Because you got to think about it. Why does he say about the environment they're in? Why does he say this will be my new temple now? Why would he say this is going to be my new temple? Come on. If it's not Don Cueto, why would he say that? Just say it. But overall, Lucha Underground really has got my interest peaked, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Lucha Underground. I really can't. With season 4, and if season 4 is it, I've got a feeling from what I'm hearing, it's going to go out with a bang. I really do. Because you're incorporating sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural, like possessed dolls, time travel, gauntlets that give you the power of a god. You're still keeping that crime drama like deal. You're bringing in guys like Swagger and as a hitman kind of like individual. So it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to see where they go from here with season 4, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And as far as spoilers go, if you're too impatient for it, there are spoilers up. Just be careful about where you get them, because you can end up going into places that will infect you with a virus, or attempt to. They will attempt to infect you with a virus. So as far as spoilers go, I think I would just wait until the show comes out to look at them, to see what happens as it goes on, because it seems Lucha Underground is being very, very secretive. They're doing what they can to make sure spoilers are not thrown out there. But yeah, it looks like season 4 is going to be really interesting in the long run. Cannot wait. It's got my interest peaked. Cannot wait. As far as the last thing I want to talk about, as of today, 11:56 p.m. As of today, a couple of hours ago, or several hours ago, or whatever it was, the All-In show that's taking place at the Sears Center Arena outside of Chicago, on the outskirts of Chicago, the All-In show. It's sold out. Yeah, the Sears Center has sold out for All-In. And it looks like they got quite a lineup going up for them right now. They got quite a lineup. In fact, they even have They have one match already announced, although we don't know who the other opponent in the match will be. But the one match announced is Cody Rhodes challenging for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And that's all we know. That's all we know. But yeah, it's sold out. But yeah, All In has sold out. And, you just gotta wonder, if it's just gonna be like a house show live event kind of thing. Or if it's going to be, if it's going to be a live event, just a live event house show kind of deal, or if they're going to broadcast it on pay-per-view or Twitch, or iPay-per-view or Fight TV. I think Twitch is probably the more likely area, but you got to wonder if they're going to do that. I mean, in fact, I even tweeted Cody Rhodes that question. I said, are you going to do this? Are you going to broadcast it on pay-per-view or Twitch? Or even YouTube? Make more sense, because, a lot of people are going to want to see this, but they're not going to be able to see it in person, so you got to find a way to do that. So I'm pretty sure they've come up with something, but we'll just have to wait and see, because they're making a big deal out of this. This is basically what this is being set up as is the independent wrestling equivalent of WrestleMania. That's what it's being set up as, because you got all these stars going there. You got, of course, the Young Bucks. You got Cody. You got Omega. You got Marty Scurll. You basically got the Bullet Club part of this, and if not hosting it. You got Okada. You got Rey Mysterio. You got Tisha Blanchard, and who knows who else. You might have Taihashi, if you will. Naito, Jericho, who knows? It's going to be really interesting to see what they bring to the table. Like I say, only one match is announced so far, and that's Cody Rhodes challenging for the NWA Championship, which makes me think Cody's going to win the NWA title, because if they're hosting this, then you know Cody's going to want to win the championship as a... He's going to want to book himself in the... He's probably going to want to find a way to book himself as the champ, the one walking out with the championship. That's if the NWA agrees to it. The NWA, of course, Billy Corgan has to sign off on it. If he says no, whoever the champion is, if it's Nick Aldis, he's going to go over, so be it. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure, though, if Billy really wants to help the NWA get back to its prominence, then he'll put the belt on Cody Rhodes. I'm assuming that's going to happen. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, All In, the independent equivalent of WrestleMania, independent wrestling equivalent of WrestleMania, is sold out. And now the only question next is, how are people that won't be able to see it live and in person be able to see it that night? So we'll have to wait and see. But all I can say is congratulations to Cody, Young Bucks, Omega, Marty Scurll, all of them, for making this, for having this happen, for making this happen, making this a reality. And now the question is, you know, what's next? What other matches are we going to get? And how is it going to be seen worldwide? That's what I would like to know. But overall, those are just my thoughts on the Death of Superman trailer, the Lucha Underground Season 4 trailer, and All In selling out. So that's about it, folks. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. And I will talk to you all later.